Welcome back to the second video of session 6, a continuation of Fiata document and forms. We're going to continue with one of the documents called Fiata FCR. Fiata FCR stands for Forwarder's Certificate of Receipt. This is an official acknowledgement of the goods received by the forwarder. The forwarder assumes responsibility for the dispatch and delivery of the consignee in the document. The FCR can be handed to the consignor immediately after the consignment is received by the forwarder. For example, in the case of goods delivered X warehouse, seems the most appropriate document that I can think of is the FCR, but that will come in other topics. This green document is a specimen of the Fiata FCR. Purpose. This is an official acknowledgement by a freight forwarder that he or she has taken possession of the goods. As I said, in the case of delivery X warehouse, it would be most appropriate for the forwarder to issue an FCR to acknowledge receipt of the cargo on behalf of their client. What is the forwarder's responsibility in the FCR? A freight forwarder assumes responsibility for the dispatch of goods and delivery to the party named by the consignee. Note, the Fiata FCR is not a negotiable document, as the delivery of the consignment to the consignee does not depend on the surrender of this document. There are many obligations in issuing this FCR. This document bears on its reverse the standard trading condition applicable to the country where it is used. So if this is used in Ghana, it will have our STC on the back as small print. When the forwarder is issuing an FCR, the freight forwarder should ensure that the specified consignment has been received by him or her or his agent, and that the right of disposal of the goods is vested solely in him or her, that the goods appear to be in good order and condition, that the details in the document clearly correspond with the instructions he has received, and then the conditions on the freight document are not contrary to the obligations the forwarder has assumed under the FCR. The next document is FCT, Fiata for FCT, Fiata FCT, Forwarder's Certificate of Transport. This is an undertaking by the forwarder to deliver the goods to the consignee at destination through the medium of an agent appointed by the forwarder. The FCT can be handed to the consignor by the forwarder immediately after the consignment has been transferred to him for shipment. The Fiata FCT is, however, not very much in use at the present because of the introduction of the FPL. A specimen of the FCT is shown here on the slide, and the color is yellow. What is the forwarder's responsibility in issuing this Fiata FCT? The forwarder assumes responsibility for delivery of goods at destination through an agent appointed by the forwarder to the holder of the document in accordance with the conditions stated in the forwarder's certificate of transport. The FCT is negotiable, and the delivery of the consignment may be affected only against presentation of the original document. This document, FCT, bears on its reverse the standard trading conditions applicable in the country. For instance, if it's Ghana, it will have our STC, the GIF STC at the back. The next document is the Fiata FBL, which stands for Negotiable Fiata Multimodal Transport Bill of Lading. What is the purpose for issuing such a document? The FBL is a through document for multimodal transport for the use of international freight forwarders acting as multimodal transport operators. Watch that carefully. The forwarder's responsibility in issuing the FBL. In issuing the FBL, a forwarder assumes responsibility not only for the performance of the transport contract and delivery of the goods at the destination, but also for the acts and omissions of the carrier and other third parties engaged by the forwarder. A specimen of the FBL in distinct azure blue color is shown on this slide. The FBL is negotiable unless marked non-negotiable. It can also be used as a marine bill of lading. The next document is FWR, the Fiata Warehouse Receipt. What is the purpose for issuing this? This is a warehouse receipt for use in forwarder's warehouse operation. It incorporates detailed provisions regarding the right of holders by endorsement of document, transfer of ownership, and the agreement that delivery against presentation of the warehouse receipt amounts to good delivery of merchandise. A sample of the FWR is shown here in distinct yellow. What is the forwarder's responsibility in issuing an FWR? In countries where the standard trading conditions contain provisions regarding the activity of warehouse keepers, such provisions will apply to FWR issued in those countries. It is not a negotiable document unless marked negotiable. Where a legally recognized warehouse receipt is in use in accordance with national law, it will not be in order to use the Fiata FWR in that country. The next document is FWB, the non-negotiable house bill of lading, or the house airway bill. These documents are usually applicable to consolidation services. The house bill of lading is issued in respect of sea freight, while the house airway bill is issued in respect of air freight. There is no uniformity in the terms and conditions of these documents, which vary from forwarder to forwarder. A specimen of the FWB is on the next slide. The purpose of FWR. When the forwarder acts as a carrier and When a forwarder acts as a carrier and provides consolidation or groupage services by sea or air, the forwarder issues their own bill of ladings to the consignors of individual consignments. The responsibility for a forwarder in the FWB are as follows. There is no uniformity in the terms and conditions of the house bill of lading because freight forwarders enjoy freedom of contract. This can be seen in the generalization below. Some do not accept any liability for loss of goods or damage to them occurring when the goods are in the custody of actual carrier. Others assume liability appropriate to the role of an agent although they act as principals and issue their own bill of lading. And some forwarders do not accept liability in such cases and compensate the consignor to the extent to which he or she himself is compensated by the responsible carrier. Some forwarders who issue HBL, House Bill of Lading, assume full responsibility as stipulated in the FBL. The next document is SIC or Fiata SIC, which is the Shipper's Intermodal Weight Certificate. It is an acknowledgement of the weight of the cargo. The Fiata STC is often used in the intermodal freight forwarding in the United States of America instead of intermodal certificate. It is up to the standard of Intermodal State Container Act of the United States of America. A specimen is shown here, specimen of Fiata SIC. You will notice from the documents shown in this video, there are purposes that Fiata has made it possible for forwarders across the world, and to be specific, forwarders who are members of their national associations, to obtain internationally accepted documents for their business transactions. You notice that there is no need for any single company to design and have their own documents. Through membership of Fiata, forwarders are able to use any of the documents when the National Association has approval from Fiata. These are some of the benefits of affiliating to the International Federation of International Freight Forwarders Associations. This brings us to the end of Fiata documents and forms. There are 2 forms and there are 6 documents, making in all 8 documents and forms. A review exercise has been arranged for you, for us to find out how we have fared with the objectives of this session 6, which is about Fiata documents and forms.